We're about 40 miles south of Candlestick Point as we welcome you inside Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara. Today, Week 17 is upon us, and we've got a good one in store here, as it'll be the Los Angeles Rams taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Just about set for football. Blake Grupe is ready to get us started. And we are underway from Santa Clara. And that is over the back line of the end zone. It's a touchback, and they'll bring this out to the 30. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And taken down just shy of the 40. These two teams, remember, met in Inglewood earlier in the year with the Rams coming out on top. So a win here in Santa Clara would give them the season series. From the 39-yard line, here comes 2nd down at 6. Pass complete there to Nakua. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down L.A. And he has now hit number 500. Charles, that is his 500th NFL career catch.
Definitely worthy of applause, but I remember when 500 meant you were going to the Hall of Fame. Nowadays, in today's football, 500 puts you on the path, a significant number.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
2nd and 10. To throw is Nix. That's complete to the tight end, Terrence Ferguson. That'll leave them with a 3rd and 2 coming up. They got 8 yards there. Well, this defense for the Niners, they played really well in the win over the Raiders a week ago.
And while you can't actually see confidence rising in a unit, you feel like you can. And when you look at this team, you definitely think that it is, because anytime you can tell your offense, just get us a couple of touchdowns, we got this thing locked down, that's when you know you're playing well.
On 3rd down, it's Moore. And a good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down L.A.
How best to describe that one? I'd say right down Broadway on that run.
A straight ahead running. I think that might be something we see a lot of between the tackles today.
Well, he's enjoying things so far here this afternoon. Sees a crease and bursts through it for a solid gain.
Off the play fake. Here's Nix. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And we're going to stop play here, at least momentarily. It looks like there is a 49er who's in some discomfort. But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. And they'll come up on a 2nd and 7 from the 27. And they'll send the tight end in motion here. Working out of the gun is Nix. A short one there taken in by Ferguson. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. To throw, here's Nix. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Niners are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
The Niners take over 1st and 10 at their own 2-yard line.
Blue 32. Yellow line. Hut.
On the ground, this is Quinshon Judkins. And now where are they going to mark him here? Well, they say he did get back to the 1-yard line, but that could have easily been 2 points the other way.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Right, 97. Here we go. Right, 95.
To throw from his end zone, Langford. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Ready. 45. White. Set.
On 3rd down, it's Stokes. And he will have a 1st down here before he gets banged down to the turf pretty hard. The Niners hit 5 and 10 now on the year, and they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
Here we go. Here we go. 33. Yellow.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. On this one, incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it, and it's 2nd down.
When defenses get to the quarterback that quickly, a lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Ready.
On the handoff, this is Judkins. There he goes, left side. Off to the races. Moving inside the 20. Touchdown, 49ers. Quinshon Judkins with now 15 rushing touchdowns on the year. And the Niners take the early turnover and convert it into an opening touchdown.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Groupie able to add the PAT, and it's now a 7-0 game. After the touchdown, here's Groupie to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The LA offense ready to go for their next drive. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, wound up leading to a touchdown the other way. How do you approach drive number 2?
Going back to your game plan coming in, everyone has matchups that they like better than others. Where they think they have an advantage, dial up some of those plays. Try and go to those spots and get your offense moving.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
It's a gain of 17 yards. First down, Los Angeles.
Hands it off out of the gun. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Here now, 2nd and 4. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. You look at this Niner defense. Right now in the National Football League, they're ranked number 18 against the pass.
And I think you're going to see some changes in the offseason, whether it's through the draft, free agency, maybe even both. They definitely need some help in the secondary.
3rd and 4. Throwing Nix. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Rams first down. They needed 5 there on 3rd down. He winds up getting 7. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Now it's Nix. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And this will move the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the 49ers 19. A gain there of 12 yards and a first down L.A.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage. And here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. Here's Nix. And it's incomplete. Boy, he doesn't drop many like that one. 2nd down.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
Now a 2nd and 10. Nix to the air. this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And the Rams are going to have a first and goal as he's taken down at about the 8-yard line.
And that's how you shake off the interception you throw in the opening drive, come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
They'll go play action with Nix. Now he's going to step up and run. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete.
And a smart play there. He's probably saying, I wish I would have done that in the last drive instead of throwing the interception.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. They'll look to throw again. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back around the 18-yard line. Josh Hines-Allen in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. The Rams with the football here to begin the second quarter, as they'll see what they can do on third and goal. They'll try and throw. Here's Nix. Under pressure, they got him again. He loses a full 5 yards there on the sack, and it also brings up fourth down, fourth and goal. And his kick here is good. And we're going to stop play here at least momentarily. It looks like there is a 49er who's in some discomfort. Always unfortunate to see an injury, especially this close to the end of the regular season. We'll step aside. The Rams kickoff team on the field, and here we go with the ball in the air. And out a little across the 25 to the 27. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. So, Charles, the season winding down, the playoffs obviously not in their future. As they look ahead to the offseason, what spots do they maybe need to fill?
Well, I think that they like the guy who's calling the plays and throwing the ball. I think that he's a pretty good player. Needs some help, I think, on the perimeter, though. Help him out with receivers, because I think if he gets an upgrade there, his play gets that much better, too.
From the 31, here's second and 6.
33, yellow.
Up the middle they go. Stokes. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Now a third and 6.
32.
Operating from the gun, Langford. He's got the open man. It's Iomanner. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 22.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47.
52 blue. Clock, 10. Ready.
Looking to throw. Langford. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Stokes. The 20. And they move this all the way down to the 9. A big pickup of 38. Now, we know this offense has the potential to strike quickly, and they just bit off 2 huge plays on back-to-back snaps.
So on the other side of the ball, you've got to go Band of Brothers thought process. No one left behind, no pointing fingers, no accusations, because if you don't, those quick strikes we just saw, they become long-lasting.
The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10.
Yellow, 43. Ready?
On 1st down, here's Judkins. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Quinshon Judkins, his 2nd TD of the game and 16th on the season. And the 49ers are able to stretch out their lead. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way you can create space down near the goal line.
And oh, it's blocked. Picked up by the offense. This is a live ball. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Moore. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 5. Operating from the gun, here's Nix. He's got a man. That's caught. Left sideline. A gain there of 21 yards.
What an intelligent play as he found open grass and uncovered quickly. A nice clutch play to move the chains. The defense, they've got to do a much better job of accounting for these shorter routes.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
A short one there, taken in by Ferguson. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
And this offense on 3rd down today, they've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9. Here's Nix once more. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Rams have got it back to within a score. Out comes the kicking team here for the extra point. And he puts it through there within 3. It's 13-10. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now defensively, you've almost got to get down in those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the passer.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Stokes. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big hitter there. A first down gain of 26 yards. Well, this is the reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Runs like that might get him another award.
Yeah, Thunderbolt right out of the gate, huh? How about that, hitting the defense hard early? And, of course, carrying the momentum from last week into this week's game.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 43.
95.
Back to throw. Langford. That's into the hands of Iomanner. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Ready. Red, 38. Red, yellow.
They'll run from the gun. It's Judkins.
And he'll get about 3 as he's brought down to the 28.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
The 22 is the line to gain here on third down.
Yellow, 22.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple of big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
And his kick is good. And that extends their advantage to 6 at 16-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. They came out not so hot. The first quarter, they were sputtering a little bit, but they seem to have stayed the course and really righted the ship here in the second.
But let's face it, all the preparation that goes into getting ready for a game, all the scouting reports, the practice, the repetition, sometimes you get a little bit of a lull to start things off. Maybe you get a little flat, but if you put in that time, you put in that effort, it can come back to you, and that's what we're seeing so far.
Now can they keep that momentum going? Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Looking to throw. Nix. Tucker hauls it in over the middle. And that's good for a gain of 6. And they'll be facing a 3rd and 12. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. From the gun on 3rd down. Nix. He's got his target. That's complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. The Rams going to go ahead and use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Nix from the shotgun. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Ferguson. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. Back to throw again.
Going to be taken in here by Nakua.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Here's a 2nd and 5.
In motion goes the tight end.
Nix looking to throw again. Oh, it's intercepted. A drive killer there. Kyler Gordon picks it off. And the 49ers are going to take over at their own 2-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And the ball backed way up, so thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as the clock will stop with 20 seconds to go in the first half.
On the double.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Blue check. Ready. 33. Yellow. Set.
Up the middle they go. Stokes fighting to get back to the goal line. I don't think he got there. He did not get back there. It's a safety. And the defensive penetration there blew that play up and got him 2 points.
How about how they got off at the snap of the football, got upfield into the backfield, and created the big play? That's the key to everything.
Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. Gets past one man.
And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
First and 10 at the 27-yard line.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
Looking deep downfield. Touchdown, LA!
Puka Nakua
In the final seconds of the first half.
and the Rams have taken the lead here in the final stages of this first half.
Well, if the plan is to come in here and go toe-to-toe with these guys, it certainly does not hurt if you hit them with a big shot along the way, too.
That's got to give them some confidence. And the other thing right now, it quiets this crowd, at least for the time being.
Yeah, that is what is called the intended consequence of their actions.
So time enough for a kickoff here. 5 seconds remaining in this first half. And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Down. 50, green.
And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number one. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. The 49ers going to have the football and trailing on the scoreboard as we get back underway on EA Sports. Oh, it's some hitting going on now. This has been a tight game, and he takes a big shot there on the return. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
Here's 2nd and 7. And now an audible here into something else. An inside run with Jenkins. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30.
Well, partner, they've been running it well the entire game, and the big guys up front, they're a huge reason why. And now they're reaping the benefits as they continue to open up big holes and gain nice yardage.
Third and 2.
Let's go. 10 flat. Ready.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Stokes. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Here comes the 49ers punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. This is taken at the 15.
And that one a 55-yard punt, 13 on the return.
And the Rams will go on offense here with a 1st and 10. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line. They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Here's 2nd and 8. A short one there taken in by Ferguson.
So just 3 yards on the completion there. And now we've got a 3rd and 4.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, Great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
That is caught. And he is going to have the Rams first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
3rd and 4 is always a tough call. Maybe a little too long to run for it, but not too long to hit him on the quick slant. And that was well executed. Found the window and zipped it right in there.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
He hadn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. To throw is Nix. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll go as a loss of about 6, and now it brings up 3rd.
Well, this has turned into an absolute week to forget for this quarterback. Multiple sacks, pair that with multiple turnovers. As far as he's concerned, if he ever sees this defense again, it'll be way too soon.
Here's 3rd and 9. Operating from the gun. Nix. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. Here comes the Rams punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. Almost outkicked his coverage there. 48-yard punt, but 10 on the return. And the Niners will go on offense, 1st and 10. The San Francisco offense ready to start their next drive. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going, so what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis. From the 32-yard line now, here's 2nd and a yard.
Ready. Ready. 38. Ready.
Back to throw. Langford. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And this throw incomplete. And the defender all over him that time, and it's going to lead to 3rd down.
He did a good job keeping his focus downfield as he rolled out of the pocket, trying to fit a pass in. But that defender nearby made sure that one didn't result in a 1st down.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1.
Let's go now. 22 needles. Watch out now. 50 series.
Now whistles here, and I think one of the big boys for the 49ers might have jumped. Well, that's a tough, costly penalty, because now it makes it 3rd and 6 after the false start.
10 cycles. 45. 1.
Give up the middle, Judkins. And he's going to have the 1st down, yardage to the 35. 117 yards rushing for him so far as his terrific season continues here.
I think I saw a lot of shoulders just drop there. And what I mean by that is they finally were able to relax a little bit because that was an important play call. They needed to pick up that first down at this stage of the game.
Yeah, couldn't afford another quick drive and out. Over the middle, complete. That's Franklin. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll go as a first down for San Francisco on a pickup of 16.
First and 10 at the 48-yard line.
Down. 12, 10. Go, 38. Hut, hut.
Looking to throw. Langford. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Franklin. And it appears we've got a member of the Rams shaken up on that last play.
But not what you want to see this late in the season. Medical staff is going to check on him, and we'll step aside for a moment. From the 41, here's 2nd and 3.
Blue, 52. Yellow, 43. Ready?
Back to throw. Langford.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down. He did an okay job of absorbing the hit, just couldn't secure the football through the catch.
And he was right there on the spot and forced the incompletion. That's something defenders work on all the time. If you're there, make the contact, but continue to work your way through the receiver so that you can't possess the football and turn it into a catch.
Seventh play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3.
Ready? Shot. 17, 33. Yellow. Set.
Again, he'll drop to throw. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down.
Okay, so the personal foul penalty, and those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Yellow, 22. Striker, 3-3.
Judkins going to run it out of the gun.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
10 black. Hut.
Up the middle they go. Stokes.
And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 1st down, San Francisco. The pickup, 14 yards.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
Ready. Zone red. 52 blue. Slice, 97. Hut, hut.
They'll look to throw now on 1st down.
To the right side and caught by Iomanner.
That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to bring up 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 3 at the 16-yard line.
Here we go. Here we go. Red, 38. Ready.
Looking to throw. Langford. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 9 yards on the play there, and it sets him up first and goal.
First and goal at the 7-yard line.
It'll be first and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on first and goal.
60 red. 60 red. Set.
Operating from the gun, Langford. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. It's a loss of 4, and now it's second and goal.
First and goal looked like things were set up nicely, and now all of a sudden on second and goal, Charles, a big challenge ahead of them.
And you have to know when you're this close to the goal line, things are going to happen faster, so you've got to get the ball out quick. Not going to have much time in the pocket before the defenders bring pressure.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal.
10 cycles. Ready.
Operating from the gun, Langford. Got his tight end. That's complete. That's Roman. It's so close. He gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there.
Coaches always harp on the quarterback reading the defense and getting it to the open man. That's good recognition there. And how about what he did after the catch?
Yeah, hit your tight end. Let him get some rack.
Yeah, but when he gets moving, not many guys want to come over and put a hit on him, do they?
Okay.
What a stand this would be if they can get the stop here. Third and goal.
Set. Ready. Black 40. Set. Go. Ready.
Judkins
Trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
So here we go. A big spot now for Blake Groupie.
Less than an extra point attempt here. This is an 18-yarder. And his kick is indeed good. And in the fourth quarter, this game is tied. So it was 4th down and 1 in the red zone, but they elect to take just the 3.
And I'm a little bit surprised that that's exactly what they decided to do. I kind of thought that they would go for it in that situation. But sometimes I'm sure you just think to yourself, take the 3 points, put them in your pocket, and move on.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive.
And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this fourth quarter.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. Solid move, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And here's a handoff out of the gun. And he'll be tackled at the 45 following a gain of just 2.
Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
And they'll run on the inside handoff.
He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up fourth. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on fourth. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack.
He's got it to the 43 here.
I think if we put together a job description for a middle linebacker, we would start with being able to hold down things in the middle of the line of scrimmage and be able to take on blockers. But how about the guys who can go sideline to sideline and make plays?
Love a guy that can do that. We saw a perfect example of it right there.
From the 43, here's a 2nd and 7. To throw, here's Nix. On the RPO, he'll keep it himself.
And he wisely will throw that one away.
I tell you, he's been running for his life all game long. They've sacked him time after time. And here he's again forced to beat the retreat. And he's got to throw this ball away.
They will look for some important yardage on third down. From here, it would be a 60-yard boot.
Working out of the gun is Nix.
And that is incomplete. He shook his head right when he released that throw. He knew it was going to be a little off target.
Yeah, the excitement got him on that one. Wasn't able to control the fact the receiver was open, and it would have been an easy throw.
Here comes the Rams punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And a good result there, as that'll get out of bounds and pin them back at their 10-yard line. So well done there. And these punters, they get more specialized and better each and every year, don't they?
They sure do. And now it's really not the American punters. It's the Australian punters with their kicking academies and that flat drop and just kind of kicking the nose of the football. They're able to almost stop it where they want to, like a good golfer can check one up.
The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
Excellent job by their defense to force the punt and provide them with this opportunity, all tied in the fourth quarter.
They'll start on the ground here on first down. Oh, felt like that move deserved more than he got there. A gain of 2.
Well, they always talk about playing great team defense, and that was an excellent example right there. Everyone on assignment, no one in the wrong spot, everyone filling their gaps.
60 red. 60 red.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Stokes. And just not a ton of room to work with. He'll get it to the 15 for a gain of 2.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
The Niners on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. Operating from the gun, Langford.
That's taken in by Franklin.
And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely, maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Taken in at the 22. Oh, able to avoid him.
So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return.
And out will come the offense as they take over. Set to begin their next drive, the Rams offense at the line.
The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10.
In motion, the tight end. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Throwing, Nix. Going to be caught here, left side, Moore.
Give him 3 on the screen. He couldn't break free, and it's 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Well, the faithful in full roar here in Santa Clara. This is 3rd down. Here's Nix. Oh, he had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
Defensively, mission accomplished, and now with under 3 to go, they may be the last team holding the football.
They may very well be the last team holding the football, unless, of course, you're facing a group that is really aggressive offensively and may want to take a gamble. But theoretically, you've done your job now. You should get the ball back on a punt, but I'd be alert for a fake.
Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't he?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
Black, 95.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now.
45, right. Ready?
Back to throw. Langford. He finds his man, complete. That's Stokes. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
Now they'll audible to something else.
Back to throw now on 1st down. He finds his man, complete. That's Roman. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. They'll look to throw here on 1st down.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
I guess you can't be afraid to take those chances late in the game. He tried to fit that one in there. Nice job, though, defensively.
But to your point, it was a nice job of knocking the ball away. But you're also right. You can't be afraid to take those chances. That means your guys going downfield to catch the ball, they've got to elevate their game and come down with these in order to keep your offense moving.
52, Yellow, 22. Ready.
Now a handoff up the middle. Whiting. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. The 49ers now going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game.
They'll come to the line. This is 3rd and 3.
32.
Looking to throw. Langford. And that will be incomplete.
Oh, boy, this sets up for a huge call now on 4th down because you can try the long field goal, you could go for it, or you could punt and play for overtime. I am so glad, partner, that I don't have to make those kind of decisions. Let's see what they decide.
Here we go. This is 4th down.
Yellow, 43. Set.
Operating from the gun. Langford. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Niners go for it, but it doesn't work out. And it'll be a turnover on downs.
This is 1st and 10. Nix to the air. Now he'll tuck this and run.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield.
But it looks like one of the DBs has it.
And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
We know he's got the speed to get downfield, Charles, but there's the negative side. A little loose with the football that time.
And that's normal, especially when you have his type of talents, because you feel like you're into the open field and maybe you don't feel the people who are around you or closing in. All quarterbacks have to do extra ball security drills with the way the game's played now, because defenses, they attack the football as much as they attack the runner.
Following the fumble recovery, Langford. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Now San Francisco going to call their second timeout as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter.
Here's 2nd down.
Here we go. 52 blue.
Up the middle they go. Stokes.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
Okay.
A big play needed, no doubt. 3rd and long.
Ready. 10 black.
Back to throw. Langford.
Oh, look at this. It's intercepted.
And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Here's 1st and 10. Now it's Nix. He's got the connection to Moore.
Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Operating from the gun, Nix.
Open man is Tucker.
And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds.
5 yards on the pickup. And this is 3rd down.
A big play here. Crowd on their feet. 3rd and 4. Operating from the gun, here's Nix.
This is caught inside the 15. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they'll stop it with 11 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Now 1st and goal.
And he just clocked it. But the clock wasn't even moving. Well, that's one you don't see very often, a wasted down. So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. And now the Niners going to signal for their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And this one is right through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And you know, in an era of cost-cutting and maximizing your roster, this is a club that does not skimp on special teams, and in these situations, it pays dividends.
And that's great vision by the organization. When the difference between winning or losing depends on who you have kicking the ball, would you rather have a street free agent out there or a solid pro like this? Answer's pretty evident to me.
At their own 35-yard line.
Here's 1st down.
Black 40.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So for L.A.,
they improved to 11-5 now with 1 week remaining.
so that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Santa Clara.